So let us now study alcohol, phenols and ethers, and it is one of the very important topic which comes in organic chemistry, and it has a high weightage in JEE Advanced. First of all, we will study about how we can make alcohols from different compounds. Here you can see A. When reacted with LiLH4 becomes B. You know that lithium aluminum hydride is a very strong reducing agent. So as you can see in A, first we have a aldehyde group, then a keto group, then a carboxylic, then a ester, then acid halide, then anhydride, then lactone, and finally we have epoxide, and they all change into alcohols. So this is how much powerful the lithium aluminum hydride is. The main aim of LiAlH4 is to reduce whatever a compound is to an alcohol. Now, some important points about lithium aluminum hydride. Lithium aluminum hydride can't reduce the double bonds in conjugation with C double bond O. Like you can see this compound. Do you know the common name of this compound? Don't you? The common name of this compound is croton aldehyde, and it's a very in JEE Mains or JEE Advanced or other competitive exams, you will see that you need to remember some common names as they will be asked, and they carry a very good weightage. So the croton aldehyde is, you can say the aldehyde group over here is reduced to alcohol, but there is no effect on double bond. But when this double bond is in conjugation with phenyl and also with an aldehyde group, the double bond also get reduces. This is what our second point is. It can also reduce double bond when it's conjugated with a phenyl ring. So this is all the varieties of lithium aluminum hydride is, and we will be discussing its mechanism in much more detail in the questions to become. And the most important point is these two are important side points that here you can see in this ketonic compound we have added LiAlD4 and H2O in the second step, and D has been attached to carbon, and we get an hydroxyl group with an H, and it's not a deuterated. And in the second one, again the compound is same, but now we have changed the substrates. Now it's LiAlH4 and deuterated water, and you can see here the hydrogen is normal H, but this hydrogen which is attached to the earlier carbonyl group has changed and it's deuterated. So we will see this in the questions to be coming, the full mechanism and how to remember this. And this is one of the very typical questions which are asked in IIT, and you should remember that mechanism plays a very important role. Rote learning will not be sufficient. Now let's proceed on. Here you can see the next point is NaBH4 can reduce all from A to B, which we have seen in the table, except carboxylic acid and ester, and it can reduce all the double bonds in conjugation with C double bond O. So what we get, what is the gist of this thing? The gist is that NaBH4 is a mild reducing agent. So whenever we don't want to reduce any carboxylic acid or ester, then we will use NaBH4. Let's proceed. H2 nickel. Whenever we use H2 and nickel, it reduces all A to B, and apart from that, it also reduces all the double bonds, irrespective of the conjugation. It means that whether the double bond is in conjugation with C double bond O, or it's not in conjugation, or wherever it's positioned, it doesn't matter. It will reduce them all. And whenever we use B2H6 and THF, all the compounds from A to B are reduced except COCl, that is acid halides. Now let us see how the alcohols or aldehyde and how they react with the Grignard reagent. So let us proceed. Here, first of all, the mechanism. This is a C double bond O. So we know that O is more electronegative than carbon. As I have told you the shortcut once, that how to remember the electronegativity, and from that oxygen electronegativity is 3.5 and carbon is 2.5. So oxygen is more electronegative than carbon, and oxygen carries a delta minus and carbon carries a delta plus positive charge. And here, as Mg is a divalent electropositive metal, so it carries a delta plus charge and R carries a delta minus charge. Therefore, R acts on carbon and it forms a bond over here, and the left part MgX, it gets bonded with the oxygen. As the CO, from the CO bond, oxygen takes the lone pair and it becomes O minus, and it becomes deficient and a plus charge is developed like this. In reality they are both del plus and del minus, and bond gets weaker, the pi bond, and then R attacked over here, then MgX leaves it, R goes over here and it forms like this. और अब फिर MgX जो यहाँ से निकलता है वो यहाँ पर आके लग जाता है, तो इस तरीके से हमारा एक कंपाउंड बनता है. तो अब देखते हैं ये डिफरेंट अल्डिहाइड और कीटोन्स पे क्या असर दिखाता है. अब ये अल्डिहाइड, अब अल्डिहाइड प्लस RMgX डाला हमने, तो वो हमें देता है 1 डिग्री अल्कोहल प्लस MgXOH. पहले वो हमें ये कंपाउंड देगा, और जब हम उसका हाइड्रोलिसिस करेंगे तो हमें MgOHX दे देगा और 1 डिग्री अल्कोहल. उसी तरीके से जब हम अल्डिहाइड को करेंगे, यहां पर हमने कौन सा लिया था, फॉर्मल्डिहाइड. इसका नाम है, कॉमन नेम है इसका फॉर्मल्डिहाइड, और ये सबसे बेसिक अल्डिहाइड है या फर्स्ट अल्डिहाइड है. और आखिरी में हमने लिया है कीटो कंपाउंड. कीटो कंपाउंड में जब हमने RMgX डाला तो उसमें हमें एक टर्शियरी अल्कोहल मिला और MgOHX. अब हम और भी तरीके पढ़ेंगे कि हम कैसे अल्कोहल बनाते हैं. ये एक प्राइमरी अमाइन लिया हमने, प्राइमरी अमाइन में HNO2 डाला तो उससे हमें प्राइमरी अल्कोहल प्लस N2 प्लस H2O मिला. अब इसमें एक और चीज इंपॉर्टेंट है, देखते हैं कि क्या ये प्राइमरी अमाइन है, और क्या ये प्राइमरी अमाइन है, कि ये दोनों भी प्राइमरी अमाइन नहीं है. जैसे हम प्राइमरी अमाइन ही ये रिएक्शन देते हैं, तो आप इसमें देख सकते हैं ये सेकेंडरी कार्बन पे अटैच्ड है, लेकिन ये प्राइमरी अमाइन है, क्योंकि इसमें आप देख सकते हैं N के साथ 2 हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड है, और इस कंपाउंड को प्राइमरी अमाइन बोलते हैं. और जब इसके साथ कोई अल्काइल ग्रुप अटैच रहा तब इसे सेकेंडरी अमाइन बोलते हैं, और जब इसके साथ 2 अल्काइल ग्रुप अटैच है H के जगह, तब इसे टर्शियरी अमाइन बोलते हैं. यहाँ पर एक अल्काइल, अल्काइल और अल्काइल। अब आगे देखते हैं, इस प्रोसेस को ऑक्सो प्रोसेस बोलते हैं। इसमें एक अल्कीन, फिर कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड और हाइड्रोजन और CO4 होल्ड ट्वाइस विथ वेरी हाई टेम्परेचर जब हम करेंगे तो हमें एक अल्डिहाइड मिल जाएगा। बेसिकली CO और H2O इसमें ऐड हो जाता है और वो एक अल्डिहाइड बन जाता है, और फिर इसको जब रिड्यूस करेंगे तो हमें अल्कोहल मिल जाता है। अब जो आपने बहुत बेसिकली अल्कीन्स में पढ़ा होगा, नॉर्मल ऑक्सीमर्क्यूरेशन डीमर्क्यूरेशन रिएक्शन, जिसमें हम HgOAc होल ट्वाइस और NaBH4 का यूज करते हैं। ये मार्कोनिकोस एडिशन फॉलो करता है, लेकिन इसका सबसे सिग्निफिकेंट पॉइंट ये है कि इसमें रीअरेंजमेंट नहीं होता, जबकि आप जब H2SO4 यूज करोगे तो उसमें रीअरेंजमेंट पॉसिबल है। सो अगर कोई भी कंपाउंड में आपको ऐसा दिया है कि रीअरेंजमेंट नहीं हो रहा है और लेकिन मार्कोनिकोव रूल फॉलो कर रहा है, तब अब हमें HgOAc होल ट्वाइस यूज करना पड़ेगा। फिर नेक्स्ट आता है हाइड्रोबोरेशन रिएक्शन। इसमें एंटी मार्कोनिकोव एडिशन होगा और इसके रिएक्टेंट है एक नॉर्मल अल्कीन और B2S6 THF H2O2, दिस इज टेट्राहाइड्रोफ्यूरॉन, पेरोक्सी एसिड एंड डाइवोलिन। और इसका एक और सिग्निफिकेंट पॉइंट है कि इसमें रीअरेंजमेंट नहीं होगा। फाइनली कोई भी अल्कीन में अगर आपने डाइल्यूट KMnO4 या ऑस्मियम टेट्रा ऑक्साइड डाला तो वो आपको डायोल देगा और ये सिन एडिशन करेगा। जैसे आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर दोनों OH इसने वेज पे लगाए और इसके जगह या फिर वो दोनों OH डैश पे लगा सकता है। और जबकि अगर आपने RrCO3H यानी पेरोक्साइड यूज किया विथ H+ तो आपको एंटी एडिशन मिलेगा। देख सकते हैं आप इसमें जैसे एक वेज पे है और एक डैश में। Now we are going to proceed with the reactions due to OH cleavage. First of all, reaction of alcohols with metals. Now ROH. ROH is reacted with Na. It forms sodium alkoxide plus liberates NH2 gas. Similarly, other metals will also react like aluminium or magnesium or potassium. Now here you can see with tertiary butyl alcohol, that is a third degree alcohol, we are reacting aluminium and it's forming aluminium tertiary butoxide plus 3H2O. And finally we are seeing that phenol is reacting with sodium and it's liberating hydrogen. And one of the most important point about this reaction is that it will be used in other reactions, and this will be the starting material to form a phenoxide ion, which is a very important ion as such when we proceed. Moreover, the order of reactivity for this reaction is the phenol is the highest, then comes the ethanol, and then methanol, then 1 degree, then 2 degree, then 3 degree. And one more very important point, it's an important side point I may say. You should remember that this is the order of acidity of these groups: water, alcohol, then comes alkynes, then amines, and then alkenes. You may consider it not so important over here, but you will once know that if you know this, it is going to help you a lot in the whole chemistry. Not only organic, it will also help you in inorganic also. Now we proceed with our next reaction, which is esterification. Alcohols and phenols react with carboxylic acids and acid chlorides and acid anhydrides to form esters. So let us see. AR represents aromatic. So is it an aromatic alcohol or ROH? Whatever. Plus an acid in acidic medium gives us ester plus water. Similarly, when an alcohol is reacted with an anhydride, then it gives us an ester plus an acid. And the most important point about these two reactions is that they are reversible reactions. So we need to keep on removing the products so as by maintaining the equilibrium, the mechanism moves towards the forward direction. And the last reaction, in which acid halide is reacted with alcohol and we get an ester plus HCl. So what is the use of pyridine here? Pyridine is basically used so as to neutralize HCl, and hence we don't have an H plus over here or an acidic medium in the final reaction, and hence it's only a forward reaction and we get a good yield in the third one. So whenever you want a good yield, so you should follow the third mechanism or the third path. Now reaction with CO cleavage. So first is the reaction with hydrogen halides. ROH plus HX gives RX plus H2O. HX can be HI, HCl, HBr. Now reaction with phosphorus trihalides. Alcohols are converted to alkyl bromides by reaction with phosphorus tribromide. These are some basic reactions, you just need to memorize them or know them. Then by dehydration, alcohols, when they are put in an acidic medium and they are given heat, energy, they undergo elimination reaction and hence an alkene is formed. So let us see what other reactions are. Now we are going to start with oxidation reactions of alcohol. So 1 degree alcohol is reacted with either K2Cr2O7, that is potassium dichromate in acidic medium, or KMnO4 with OH minus, that is I think so Bayer's reagent, will give us carboxylic acid. This reaction is basically used to for getting an carboxylic acid from a 1 degree. Whenever we heat 2 degree, a keto group in KMnO4 OH minus with excess of heat, it forms 2 acids. And as you can see over here, the most important point about this is that we have marked this carbonyl containing compound SC14 and it was with the smaller group. So let us see why it is. The most important point is, as over here we are getting more inductive effect due to an propyl ring compared to a methyl ring. So this bond between CH2 and C double bond O, let me name it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Between 4 and 5, in this bond, the whole propyl ring will try to donate its electron more towards C double bond O. This is what inductive effect means, and hence it's denoting its electrons more towards C double bond O. Therefore, the bond is becoming weaker compared to this bond, as its inductive effect is lesser. Therefore, this bond will break first when provided energy. And here, as we are providing heat, the energy is sufficient to break the bond. And you can also remember it in an easy way, which is like Popov's rule. C is retained by a smaller alkyl. But I will say not to prefer this one. Go by the definition, because if some fluorine or other compound is added over here, then the things will change. If I add 2 fluorine, then its inductive effect will become less, and most probably with the bigger group is this carbonyl will be there. So let us now see what we get when we react the alcohols with red hot copper. When the vapors of a primary or a secondary alcohol are passed over heated copper at 573 Kelvin, dehydrogenation takes place and an aldehyde or ketone is formed while tertiary alcohols undergo dehydration. So this is what the reaction is. Now the other important oxidizing agents for alcohols. We know PCC, that is pyridine chlorochromate, and the ratio is like pyridine is to HCl is to CrO3, 1:1:1. Then we have got PDC, which is pyridine dichromate, 2:1. Then we have Collins Saret's reagent, which is pyridine plus CrO3 in 2:1 ratio. Then we get Jones reagent used with H2O or acetone, which is 1:1. And finally, the most important point of using this reagent is that they do not disturb the saturation and oxide the alcohol, 1 degree alcohol to aldehyde and 2 degree to ketone. That means they do not disturb the double bonds or the triple bonds in a compound and oxidize them to corresponding aldehyde and ketones. In the next reaction, the MnO2 is used, and it's specifically used for oxidizing benzylic and allylic hydroxyl compounds only into aldehydes and ketones. Here you can see that allylic, this is a allylic hydroxyl, and we can convert it after using MnO2, it's getting converted into a ketone. But is it a ketone? No, it's not a ketone, it's an aldehyde. So MnO2 is only used to convert benzylic and allylic hydroxyl to an aldehyde, and it will always form an aldehyde and it cannot form a ketone. So let us move on. Can it form ketone also? Yeah, it can form if we oxidize an allylic group like this with the help of MnO2. It will form ketone also. So this is what I was just checking you. That's it. Then cleavage of 1,2 glycols. 1,2 glycols are the glycols which are adjacent to each other. Whenever they are reacted with HiO4, they form, in this case, 2 aldehydes. That is, whenever we use HiO4, it gives us one step oxidation of adjacent compounds. Like where OH is used, and by using HiO4 we are getting a one step oxidation and they are getting converted into aldehydes. If we use a compound like this, which is an OH over here and aldehyde over here, ketone over here, and if we use HiO4, then it will get oxidized into aldehyde plus a carboxylic acid over here. So again a one step oxidation. Now the haloform reaction. In the haloform reaction, an alcohol with having this, a CH3, a methyl group, to its alpha carbon, and with that, when we react X2 plus NaOH, X2 can be I2, Cl2, Br2, anything, we get a carboxylic acid, and as NaOH, a basic medium, is used, we get a carboxylate ion and a sodium salt of it, and we get CHX3 plus NaX and H2O, and usually the X is I, so that we can get yellow shining crystals, that is of iodoform as CHI3. We can even use chlorine or bromine, but they will form colorless crystals, so we can't identify that whether the compound is really an alcohol with a methyl group or not. And these all compounds can only react to give this test.